Good day, everybody. Good day. Today we are here for week 8 of the PMPL Wi-Fi Draft League, going up against Coach Who, the only other undefeated coach in the league. So I'm very much looking forward to this battle. I think it's going to be very great, back and forth. Taking a look at his team here, he does have a very scary team, as you can tell just by looking at it. He's got Palafin, the Bandmon. Obviously, incredible options in Choice Band, bulk upsets, stab, jet punch. That's a threat. He's got rain to enable it as well. He's also got High Dragon, which is also just very difficult for me to switch into for this game. Nasty plot sets can also be a big issue if that's what he also decides to go for instead. Ogerpon Hearthflame, another Bandmon. I'm surprised he actually got that late in the draft, but that's obviously another huge threat on the team. And some pretty solid defensive mons and Treads, Screamtail, Shaman, Fire Tauros, and Peachy. So, and then his Terra Captain is the Noctowl, which definitely do not sleep on that mon. With Tinted Lens and in Open Terra, this thing is definitely a massive threat that we can't, you have to consider in the builder, which I did. So, pulling up my team of what I got. Terra Water Electrode. We're running a very different team this week because we've been running I've been running a very similar structure for the past 5 weeks or so, but this team requires very different answers than what I've been doing. So we're bringing back the Electrode off the bench for the first time in a while. Terra Water, I can take hits from Palafin and cook it with a T-Bolt. And I can also spam Volt Switch without worrying about Treads coming in because I can Terra Blast it and 2-hit KO it. We got a quirky Salamence here. Basically every single stat on the Salamence is going to be important in this game. Dual Wing Beat helps to... This is so I can switch into the Ogerpon with the Intimidate, knock it to a KO, and OHKO it back with Dual Wing Beat. Helps out with his Shaman as well. And Draco and Fire Blast make this thing impossible to switch into if I get the read right. Roost for Longevity, and I really can't minus any of my stats here. I can't minus Spadef because of the Shaman. I can't minus Attack because I want actual special moves to hit hard. I want Draco to be a nuke, and I want Fire Blast to cook the Treads. Which Treads is going to be a big issue for this team, I realize, but we'll get into that more later. AV Alamomola, this is the best thing I can do versus the Hydra. If it is a spec set or a Scarf set, I can handle it just fine by swapping into this and dropping a Mirror Coat, Alluring Voice, or Flip Turn, depending on what the situation calls for. It's also just a nice bulky piece to have versus things like Palafin and Treads, because Palafin also cannot break this. Like a Choice Band Palafin cannot 2-hit KO, which is pretty nice, so I can come in, Skull Burn it, or Flip Turn out. We got Sword Stance, King Gambit. We're rocking Mono Dark this week because Dark pretty much hits everything on the team. What are the Dark resist actually? It's just Hydra, who outspeeds us anyway. The Fire Tauros, who we can't really hit that hard anyway, and Noctowl, depending on Terra types, who's also faster anyway, and I can just Sucker Punch. And it's going to be... I'm going under a very similar mindset as when we played the Water Tauros team, where I just keep kowtowing it with boosted hits, and eventually it's going to just get chipped down way too much, and I'll be able to... I don't have to worry about, running Defiant, I think. Especially because you look at their team, they have the Intimidate on the Bull, and they have the Sticky Webs, but I highly doubt... I'm taking a gamble here. I'm taking a gamble, because I really don't think you'd want to do that into Gambit. I think Gambit is way too threatening versus this team, especially because it can come in on things like Screamtail without fighting coverage, a Hydra that's locked into Dark Pulse or something, Shaman, especially lacking Earth Power, and if Petrarunt comes at all, then it's completely helpless versus Gambit and gives me free rocks or Sword Stances. We're running Specs Valiant this week. Specs Moonblast hits this team pretty hard. and Aura Sphere is there for the treads. Shadow Ball hits the two guys that are most likely going to be switching into this, and Screamtail and the Peach. I almost ran Trick on this, but I put Vacuum Wave on instead, so I can deal with things like a Jet Punch Palafin that's set up, and I can outspeed it and hit it hard, or like a Scarf Hydra that thinks it can blow me away. And then my last minute addition was the Skeledirge. Fizdev Skeledirge is a pretty stable check to things like Shaman, Fire Tauros, Screamtail, even kind of Ogerpon. But the main thing it's here for is the Iron Treads. It can take 2 hits from it and burn it with a Will-O-Wisp. I'm really worried about Treads into this team. It matches up very well. So just getting a burn on it allows me to do so much more. It allows Salamence to be able to beat it, even if it has Ice Spinner. It lets Gambit get a Swords Dance on it. It lets Electro survive hits better. It would just be very nice. So that's a team, and let's get into the battle. Alright, so we're back. He says he has no Terra. He didn't even bring the Palafin, actually, which is insane. Got Ogerpon, Hearthflame, which I didn't expect to come, but I can handle it just fine with Salamence. Iron Shreds is going to be a big issue, but we have plans for it. Peach, that's a non-factor. It really can't do anything versus Gambit. And I have leftovers if it is like some like curse set. Hydra I expected. Very hard to switch. I expected most of this stuff, to be honest. Only things I didn't really expect were the Peach, and I honestly didn't really expect Ogerpon to come, but I can handle it. Do I just lead Trody then? What do I not? I don't want Hydra to get free turns though, so I think leading Aloe is not a bad idea, because I can swap into the grass types. So I'm just gonna do that. Play it as safe as possible. I also can't beat Iron... Even if I just Terra Water immediately, I can't just beat the Iron Shreds with Electrode. Like, one-on-one like that. Or I think I can, but like I'll take huge damage. And then obviously it depends on the set. If it's Spadef, AV, whatever. And because there is no Palafin, I'm not exactly in a rush to Terrasilize the Electrode immediately. So we're gonna just go ahead and lead the Mola and probably click flip on whatever comes out. And good luck to my opponent. It should be a good battle. You see Treads on lead. Do I risk staying in and taking a knockoff? I don't think I do. I think I could just make the Dirge play immediately, which I kind of like, especially because there is no Screamtail, so I'm not as worried about that. Like, Valiant looks crazy because there's no Screamtail. So we're just going to make the Skeledirge play immediately. I do take 2 hits from this, and I can Will-O-Wisp it. Well, actually, it depends on the set, but it would have to be, like, max attack to 2 KO. We do see the Stealth Rocks go up immediately. And I did bring Hazard Removal this week, but I do have, like, what, 4 Bootsmons? 3 Bootsmons, a Regenmon, and these guys can resist rocks. But this is going to be a pretty fast-paced game, I think. Anyway, do I just go for the burn? Nothing really wants to come in on it. Can I just Torch Song, actually, and just ship it, get big chip? I'm going to Willow first. I think Willow is safer. Willow, because Willow, this is what this is for, and it enables me to do so much. Although I do expect the Volt Switch to come out here, if anything. But again, nothing here really wants to take a burn, because the 2 fire types don't really want to swap into this. And I don't think you're going to go Shaman either. Goes out into Pecharunt. So getting a burn on this is nice for the chip. But again, this mon is literally can't do anything to Gambit. You can Curse, you can Memento, Parting Shot, I guess. But overall, it's pretty useless versus Gambit, so we're just going to go into that. I guess him getting Momentum would be bad. Because what, it's a switch into the fire types or Hydra. But if he does stay in, I can get my own rocks up. Also, I don't think it's going to be Volt Switch on the treads, because I think he would have clicked it there. Do you see the parting shot come out? So having Defiant would have been pretty nice, but he's probably just going to go into the Bull anyway, right? And if he goes Bull, we can just go back into Dirge. I believe Leftovers should heal all of the rocks damage here. Yep. And because Ogerpon is here, I want to play the Ments a little more carefully than the Dirge, so I'm going to go into that. I'm assuming this Bull is going to be a defensive spread just for the Gambit. And if it is, then I can't hit Dirge that hard at all. It actually doubles out. So that's a crazy good double into who? That's... How well do I match into this? Well, because it can knock off, right? Is that the best thing it can do? Knockoff is not a 2-hit KO. I could go into Ments, but I don't want to give this thing free turns. But a Torch Song also isn't doing that much. I'm just gonna make the Ments play. This is what Ments is for. This is like the main thing Ments is for. See what this wants to do. Also, I'd rather this get knocked off than the Dirge. You see Swords Dance come out. We can handle a +1. What is it? Play rough just fine, and blow this away with a dual wing beat as long as we don't miss. Actually, we don't guaranteed live this, unfortunately. So in that case, I kind of want to go back into Dirge. No, I'm gonna make the play. I'm gonna play a little risky. I'm gonna hit this. We do see Play Rough come out, and we do live. So no attack drop, please. And we do hit the dual wing beat, and it lives just barely. Just enough investment to live. So okay, so how do I want to play this now? Do I sack off the Ments now and kill this with like a Fastmon, or do I go into... I don't think I want to risk taking damage on Dirge. Is this Ment even worth keeping around anymore? It can come in on Bowl, but so can Dirge. So I'm just going to let this go. Those for Ivy Cudgel. And we don't see Trailblaze. I think this is just a... Do I throw up a Terra Blast or a Moon Blast? What's harder to swap into? Do I even need to Terra this game? I do. I should. It gives me a better tread switching if something happens to Dirge. So we're just gonna go into this and Terra Blast. If he does try to save this as a sack and go into Dirge, that'd be huge. Or go into Treads, I mean. He does. It could be the Shaman as well. That would actually make more sense. So I'm just gonna have to Volt Switch on this. I probably should have Volt Switched anyway. But then again, I don't switch into Treads well. I know a bit about the set. It's maybe 10%. Do you see Leftovers pop? Meaning it's not an offensive item. Oh, that's got to be defensive. Yeah, that's be doing way more if it was not defensive. So this is the Valiant switch in. This is like max death. The culling actually should handle this pretty well then, but I'm not gonna go into that yet. His plays are Leech Seed, Earth Power, Baton Pass, and I don't think he is. I'm gonna taunt actually. No, am I trolling by taunting? Is that a bad play? I think it's a risk. I think taunting is a risk in front of this. So we're just gonna make the safe play and Volt Switch. I may get punished for this, but I don't want to risk taking a Seed Flare and losing this for no reason. If I go into this, I'm just gonna Torch Song and probably bring the Bowl in, right? If I go into this, I can actually get rocks up. But I don't want to bring Treads in. So I would probably have to just kowtow, right? So I'll Torch Song on this. We do see the Leech Seed miss. So that's very nice. And now we can figure out if it's going to have Baton Pass or not. I don't see the point of Will-O-Wisping when Bull could switch. Bull or Peach could switch in. And it kind of makes me want to double out, actually, into the Electrode. I actually really like that play. So I'm going to take a bit of a risk and do it. Because I do think it's either Hard Swap or Baton Pass, yeah. That's the Hydra. How well do I take a Scarf Draco? It can actually just drop me, so we just go hard Aloe here. We don't mess around with this one. If he does go for a nasty plot here, we can live the subsequent Draco, guaranteed with the Mola. Even from Modest, so I think that's just the safest play. What are his options? Options is plot if you have it, or you could U-turn if you're choiced, or even just throw off an attack like a Specs Draco. But we should be able to figure out the item right now. Do you see U-turn come out? So that's probably Specs, I want to say. I want to say you'd want to slow U-turn in front of Electrode, but I guess it could be Scarf. But we do know it's not Nasty Plot, which is very nice. We see this come out. I don't think I live the hit from this. Because it probably has Woodhammer. Or Power Whip or whatever. So I think I have to go Durgio, unfortunately. It's got to be one of these two. I really don't. I don't expect the fire move. I'm gonna make a ballsy play here. This might be a choke, but I really don't see anything other than a grass move, maybe a Sword Stance or a U-turn coming out. I don't think you do that into Mola. And Dirge, especially if you see the Dirge. We do see knockoff come out, and I much rather get this knocked off than Dirge's boots. So I'm very glad I made this play. We're just gonna sucker. Yeah. Is it too obvious? No way I live the attack, right? Yeah, absolutely not. So I just have to. It's a bad play, but I had to make it. I probably could have doubled out, actually. No matter. Okay. So we are just going to Biggie here. Because if it is more of an offensive pull, then close combat can overwhelm Aloe. And we don't want that to happen when there's a potentially Specs Hydra on the other side. Actually, it's not Nasty Plot. I probably should have gone Aloe, because I can flip out. I mean, he has to make a double here, right? That's the only way he maintains momentum. So by not doubling, what is he gonna do? 277. 134. I feel like that's defensive. Um, 134 off an Earthquake. So that's like not max attack, but it actually could be minimum attack just with he just got the high roll. I'm gonna slack off. I'm playing from behind right now. This is fine. I'm basically just gonna keep making these safe plays until he decides to make a risk that kind of screws him over. Like if he Gark Pulses or clicks anything that isn't U-turn here, then I can get momentum back. That's kind of how I had to play it. He's playing like he's making a lot of reads though. That's what I'm noticing. Like earthquaking there instead of doubling, and doubling out earlier. So if I can just catch him on one of these, or if he can just like get the read wrong, then I'm in a great spot. And we do see it happen right now. I can take another 467 to 169. 298. I'm almost certain that's Specs. Yeah, so that's choice Specs for sure. Can I go hard Valiant? I can. Nothing on the team outspeeds Valiant. Yep, that's exactly what we do. Actually, unless I can live another one, but... I can, but he could also crit and also, like... Doesn't Valiant just get a kill if it comes in? Not if he goes Shaman, I guess. I'll flip. Yeah. Because there's no way you stay in a Draco again. So now we get some chip on this and some momentum. Rocky Helmet, oh. That kind of hurts. My plan is to bring in the Alamomola immediately again. I'm gonna go hard Dirge right now, because his switch into Dirge, his plays are, when I bring out Dirge, is Earthquake, Pecharunt, or Hydra. Like, he has to switch out immediately in front of Dirge, or just click an Earthquake, which isn't gonna do much to Mola from an uninvested guy. And I need to get more HP back, or else that Hydra becomes a massive, massive problem. Just double checking the calcs on the Earthquake. Should do 110 damage max. We're just gonna make it. I think he's gonna double out. And even if he doesn't, we can take a hit, get some HP, come back in the Dirge. This is not threatening Mola at all. Yep. Would you see the Hydra come back out? Can I live a Draco from this range? I'm currently at 192. I don't think I do. Yeah, we're at 36%. We definitely don't. And I can't let this die. Do I make the Gambit play? I have to make a risky play. I just gotta figure out how. Mockingjay would be the greatest play. I honestly think U-turn is coming out more than anything, but... I mean, nothing's faster than Valiant, right? No, he didn't bring a Scarfer, so I think Valiant's more of a win con than the culling, though, so we're just gonna go into this. I do expect U-turn fully to be coming out, but I can't risk a flash cannon, just completely destroying my win con. Yup, thank God. Thank God I made the right play. Okay. So now we're in a huge position. Now I think it's Rock's time. Right? I can finally start punishing his switches. So what's the last move on this thing, actually? I don't... It could be... It's probably got to be covered for Gambit. Probably just isn't running Dark Pulse. And this being Rocky Helmet means it's not Resto, Chesto, or Leftovers, so it can get worn down especially quickly by these rocks. I gotta go one of these two. Who is better if Treads comes out? Probably the Dirge, because I block Rapid Spin. So let's do that. And Mola's healthy enough to switch into Hydra again now, if he does make that double. Predicting me to go into something. So who's coming in here? Hydra? Yeah. So we get some chip on this, and like I said, Mola's healthy enough to be able to come in on this. So that's what we're go to. He is more than likely gonna Draco, and obviously I do have better switch-ins to Draco than Mola right now, but it's still the safest play if he does go for try to make some read again like he did with that flash cannon. And if he swaps, he could U-turn, actually, that'd be the safest play for him. But I have no way to punish U-turn right now. My punishment is the Stealth Rocks. I'm getting chip on this and chip on whatever comes in. So getting those Stealth Rocks up is very nice. Did you see Draco come out? We should be able to tank it. And then we hard swap out into Valiant now, I think. Yeah, that Tauros is uninvested. Shaman could be a bit of an issue, but at least we get chip on it. So we're gonna make the hard Valiant play now. Shaman is probably coming out more than likely. But they didn't go Shaman last time. Especially if they expect Gambit to come out here. Yeah. That's what that play looks like. So, I'm in a great spot. How much am I doing to this? Let's just say this is Fizz Def. Moonblast does 83 to 97. That's definitely in range. So let's attack where they can't defend and throw out the Moonblast. Their switch-ins are Peach and Shaman. Peach is risky and also useless versus the thingy. Gambit is getting worn down though. I do have to acknowledge that. So that does not a thing, but this does get shipped. And the burn is going to be canceling out the Black Sludge recovery. If he ever goes for recover and not parting shot, then Gambit is getting free damage with Kauto. It almost makes you want to go into Electrode instead, but then getting parting shot and letting the thing come in would be unpleasant. But I guess not the worst thing in the world. There's no way you don't expect Gambit to come out. But then again, if they recover, I'm also like, I just have to Volt Switch anyway. Because the two plays here are recover and parting shot. And I was just trying to compensate for parting shot. I think I have to start playing more aggressively and like... I don't think I can keep playing safe versus this guy. I think he's punishing me too hard. I gotta start playing more aggressively. So who's he gonna parting shot into is a question. We just go the Dirge on this every time. May not even have knockoff. If it Earthquakes, that's legit better for me. But then again, it depends on how this is built. I don't think he can get away with Adamant. We do catch him on the Rapid Spin, which is very nice. I think Torch Song is the play now, because now we can start getting huge chip between Torch Song and just Stealth Rock chip racking everything up. Because the only switch-ins are the Bull and the other guy. The Bull, the Hydra, and the other guy. The Peach. So actually, do I go Aloe here? I think I let... Hydra comes in completely for free on this guy. And I'm not healthy in a position where I can let that happen. Is he just gonna... Would he stay in an Earthquake of this? I don't think he would. Earthquake doesn't kill Mockingjay, right? We're out of time. We gotta make ballsy calls. We do see the switch. Let's see Hydra. We see Ogerpon sack, actually. That's a good play. Good play. But I'm in a not terrible spot because I can pick whatever attack I want and I'm faster than everything. I think, does Peach die to Shadow Ball? That's gotta be Sudef, because that Moonblast was doing negative damage. I think it's in Shadow Ball range. If it's max Sudef, Shadow Ball does 51 to 60. So we click Shadow Ball if that's what's coming out. But so, Shaman should be the correct answer. We do see Shaman. Rack up some Stealth Rock chip. Can Moonblast? This is Spadef Shaman we saw earlier. How much does a Moonblast do? Why am I not doing any damage? Oh. Okay, there we go. 39 to 46. So that actually... And this guy's at what, like 75%? Especially if he lands a Leech Sheet, I don't think we do a KO. But I'm totally down to just throw off one attack and then swap after. A Seed Flare can't kill me. A Dazzling Gleam can't kill me. I'm gonna... Moonblast. Spadef drop would also be nice. Oh, that does way more. That's not Spadef at all. Does land a Leech Sheet, unfortunately. But I think now we can get our free double into Gambit. Because now this isn't healthy enough to stay in anymore versus Valiant. We're swapping the Valiant. And Pecharunt is now the only switch in. So we're gonna go make the culling play. If they do baton pass, then they're also baton passing the -1 special attack, so that's very nice. Goes into push and P, so we get that right. This is also getting super worn down. Parting shot into heavy day is definitely what's coming out here. And I think we just gotta suck it up, Buttercup, and deal with Rocky Helmet damage and just get our chip. Just to double check, we look at Tauros, Paldea, Blaze, max defense. How much are we doing with our 1 Overlord boost? 20%. It's adding up. Our damage is definitely adding up. And he could also recover here. Doesn't. Oh, so we're at -1. I didn't calculate that. So maybe that was troll, but he's parting shotting anyway, so. I don't know if it's better for me to get chip at this point with Kowtow cleaving or just letting him die to Stealth Rock. But I can also just win on 1 HP with Sucker Punch. Maybe. Also, I'm at -2, so maybe this wasn't the best play. But every little bit of chip counts. The problem is, his chip is racking up on me a lot. So we go into Mola here, try to get more HP for the Hydra. Because now I can't swap into Draco anymore. It's basically going to come down to if I can break him down enough into where Valiant can sweep. How much HP does Petra need to be at to die from Mola Crest? $22 to 26, so we're getting close. I just have to keep punishing the Petra run. So I think we have to keep the culling alive at all costs. So who's the sack then? Iron Shreds also prevents Rapid Spin from getting a boost. Or Dirge prevents Treads from getting the speed boost from Rapid Spin. So do I sack Mola or do I sack Trode? Trode honestly hasn't done much of anything, but the speed is very nice. Especially if things are getting worn down, I think that's a potential endgame. And also we could just see a U-turn here for some reason, so I'm gonna flip here. Dark Pulse comes out. Does Petra actually die to 2 Moonblast after Stealth Rock? It's at like 50%. It might. I think it depends on the rolls. So let's do it. Confirm last move on Hydra is Dark Pulse. I can't. I just Moonblast. I just have to keep Moonblasting. Actually, I should have Shadow Balled. He's locked in the Dark Pulse. I really should have Shadow Balled here. It also would have been better if Treads comes out. So that was a mistake. I think he's probably gonna stack the Shaman, if anything. But still. Did you see Treads come out? It does like 30%. And we don't see leftovers. That's like max HP. It's probably like physically defensive, I had to guess. It could be, or maybe split that too. Still make the Dirge play. Cannot let this get a Rapid Spin on us. Who's coming out? Hydra? Yeah. When can I kill this with Sucker Punch, actually? I already got 2 allies fainted. Sucker Punch is doing 30. We sack off Trode here. No way I live, right? Actually, if he clicks anything but Draco, there's a chance to live. This is a roll. So now we're gonna make the Shadow Ball play. Because I think if we get the hit on Petra Run or Iron Shreds, it's over. It might actually be over already. Everything might already be in range, but I'm gonna Shadow Ball. Because I'm not afraid of him staying in a Dark Pulsing. Because I think this Hydra's too valuable for him. He gets a kill every time he comes in now. And now, which is by clocking in the Shadow Ball, I kill either Peachy or... If he throws away Peachy, then I can throw away Gambit, and if he throws away Treads, I can throw away Dirge. Ivory Menace comes out. I think this dies. It just barely lives. Alright. But it dies actually is in Stealth Rock range, so now we go Dirge. And even if he goes Hydra, then it doesn't matter. Dirge did his job, this thing is stripped. If he Earthquakes, there's no point in... That's definitely in Stealth Rock range, right? Do I Torch Song or do I Roar? What gives me more value? I'm gonna Torch Song. Just in case this isn't in freaking what's it called range? Stealth Rock. What can I live from Hydra with this? Does this force it to lock into Draco? Oh, it has Dark Pulse, but Dark Pulse is the terrible thing to lock into. Yeah, so I did my job with Dirge. I stay in. I could Torch Song it, and I could put it in Sucker range. Or do I just Roar for chip? I'm a Torch Song. I think whatever he locks into, it's a bad play for him. Can I live this with Gambit? I don't think so, but I'm going to calc it. Dark Pulse does 31 points. Max damage is 108, so we don't. So we just go Mockingjay. Pecharunt. I think from... I don't know if it's in range. I'm gonna Moonblast. I'm almost certain it's in range of 2 Moonblasts with Stealth Rock. And if it's not, then it should be after Stealth Rock. Here's the thing. He's gonna go Peach right now, right? Let me think about how I not lose this. Because if he goes Peach, and I go Gambit, and he parting shots into Hydra... I can sucker kill the Hydra. So, Gambit at -1 attack with 4 allies fainted versus Hydreigon. Sucker Punch is doing 24. It's not going to kill after Stealth Rock. So he would go... Does this die to Moonblast, actually? Right now. So I don't think I can let Hydra come in. I think it's a roll. I'm gonna make the risk. I think he's just gonna parting shot anyway. Do you see recover actually come out? So that's actually the best play he could have made. Now I might have to get a sword stance with Gambit, but I don't know how I'm gonna get a sword stance in front of this. I think I just stay in and parting or Moonblast again, because he parting shots here and I get another kill. I don't think you can afford the Malignant Chain. It all comes down to whether or not I can time it right. If I can swap out into Gambit on a non-parting shot, or if he can Malignant Chain on a Moonblast, I don't think there's a way I can guaranteed win. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. This can't touch me. Do I just kowtow? Actually, let me make sure I live the Shadow Ball before I do anything. Shadow Ball's doing like 14%, like 10%. It's not gonna kill unless it's invested, which it's not. Problem is he has the bowl. I have the sword stance here. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have went hard into the Valiant here. I think if he goes Hydra, I can kill it though. He doesn't. So I had to hope for like a crit or something. I think it's over, bros. Yeah. If I would have went Valiant there, I think... Well, the problem is he would have gone Peachy and we would have been in that situation again. Question, at what range does Shadow Ball kill Hydreigon? .24. I've not been keeping track of its HP. I think I'd rather try to go for a Shadow Ball crit on Hydra than a Moonblast crit on the other guy. If I crit Shadow Ball, I can kill from 31 to 36. I think it's close to that range. I think if I crit this... We don't crit, so that's game. Well played to my opponent. That was a very close game. Pretty clean game too. I don't really think there was any major hacks in that game. It was just a well-played, routine thrashing game. So yeah, I'll have to watch that back, learn from my mistakes, and then keep going. So we're already pretty much... Not even pretty much. We are in playoffs. I am 7-1. Yeah, we are both 7-1. Or he's 8-0. Or I'm 7-1. we're both going to be in playoffs. I don't necessarily know if we're going to play each other because I don't remember how the playoffs brackets work, like how we're doing it, like battles, but I do know that we do have week 9, so we do have one more regular season battle, and then after that we're going to be in the playoffs, so hopefully we can get a chance to play Who again and run it back. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next week.